Oh my gosh, I'm live. Hi, guys. Okay, let's see. I'm on with you and all right, so we'll wait because it looks like it worked with the connection. I'm on with the hi everybody. I'm live on my YouTube channel. I'm on with the Spectrum guy, and he's trying to help me get this modem thing going, and I had it plugged into the wrong thing all along. So whatever. That's just me. Hi, Sal. So. People are just coming on now. Are you done with me? Did you put me on the list?
Yeah, I'm just about done with you right now. I'll get you on the list.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am. So anything else I can assist you with?
No, I'm just live right now, so I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Miss Hartman. Thanks for calling Spectrum. Good night.
All right, bye. He wanted to get off as quickly as he could. Hi, everybody. I wanted to just like decompress. Apparently, I'm hoping that my internet problems are solved. And oh, thank you for asking, Cayenne. I keep wanting to say Cayenne, but it's Cayenne. Hey, Tim. Just saying hi to people. Gavin and Owen are right, like they're right next to me. Let me just show you where they are. They're right there. I don't know if you guys can see them, but they're, not feeling 100%. I know. Hey, reporting live from my sofa. Great to see you. Okay. Oh gosh, they're so funny. Monty and Amy just texted me because they were supposed to come on with me. So there is so much going on in the universe. Thanks, reporting live from my sofa. How are you? Good to see you. Really good to see you. He's got like a fun channel, you guys. You got to check him out. Thanks, Michaela. I think that they're getting better because Owen is angry. So typically when Owen's pretty angry, it's getting better. Okay. Okay. Can I just say, like, I know Kyan, right? His channel's great. I love him. Reporting live, can I make you like a moderator for right now? Do you mind? Let me know if that's okay with you. I'm just going to add you and then you can decide. Just because I need a moderator. Yay, there you are. Thank you. So, okay, so I got back from New York and just super excited about some of the things that are going on, but I'm just over freaking whelmed. My question to all of you guys are, anybody in the UK? Oh, it's actually too late for UK tonight. I've been trying to get online, just so you know, since I know this is kind of like blah, blah, I want to say since like 7:30, crazy, because it's I literally, it's just literally Tori Hartmanix. Oh, how cute are you? Michaela, thank you so much for the super chats. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, let me tell you, my dogs have not been well, and I've been kind of unsure about what is going on. And part of that is that they were with my friend Grace, and she's great. They love her dog, blah, blah, blah. Everything's cool over there in that world, but Owen had bad diarrhea. Isn't it funny? We talk about our dogs, but we never talk about ourselves. Yeah, I had bad diarrhea. But it has been, is it just me, you guys? Anyway, they're fine now. They're getting better, and they're, getting their rice and their sweet potato. They're eating better than me is the point. Anybody in the UK? I'm going to London, and I'm going to be doing stuff in London. Margaret Paul, you rock. And this is kind of like, with the minute you do something with Spectrum, they send you 100, like, the internet, they send you 100 things. How'd we do? And they call you and go, how'd we do? It's like, you're fine. Okay. Margaret Paul, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And, it's just been quite the experience. Also having the dogs not well. Owen had it, then Gavin got it, and anyway, Brittany Parker. I really want to go to New Orleans, and you know what I want to go? I want to go. Have you guys heard about Crime Con? It's in New Orleans, and I think it's like, oh my gosh, it is. I think it's called Crime Con. And it's in New Orleans, and it is if I'm not mistaken, you have to look it up, Brittany, but I really want to go for it. But I'm like, I just did a 10-hour drive to New York, and that's when I figured out I wasn't 20. And that was hell. About 10 and a half hours, you're going, oh my God, I think I'm seeing like strange dinosaurs on the road, because your brain is like, and then I got a ticket today from the New Jersey Turnpike. I paid all my tolls and I got a fine. They were like, we caught you. And I'm like, you caught me what? You caught me what, for $3.50 fine? It's been that kind of day. All right. Woo! I'm persnickety. You are back. He ate something he shouldn't have. That's what I was thinking, Tim. But the thing is that I know, Brittany, it is super expensive. Oh, Michaela, if New Orleans is on your bucket list, you got to go. Definitely go. Hey, Tori, there's people waiting for you on another live. You know what? Just tell them to get over here. And I'll tell you what's going on is that I've had so many problems with the YouTube feed, meaning that I'm doing just the live one here where I use it. I really need to use some kind of interface, but I'm not super smart with it. I think going live, reporting live from my sofa would know. So maybe I'll grab him. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So what I wanted to kind of talk about tonight a little bit is, and I am going to just, talk about the insanity of our world. Okay. And I do need to just say to all of you that I am just so tired. I don't know about you. Are you I can't even listen to politics. I didn't even do my nails to jump on with you guys. I can't listen to any politics. I'm literally like, it's not that I'm dreading the American election, although I am, just because people don't know how to behave and I just can't take it. I just am like, so I went off Facebook for that reason. Did you guys go off Facebook? So, all right, let me just take a peek. See, gotta love New York for the tickets. I get them all the time. Oh, please. You know what? Okay. Yasmin, here's the deal. So I was on the New Jersey Turnpike, and let me tell you guys, I'm one of those people that doesn't get tickets. I know that's kind of like, not a cool thing to say. I don't get tickets. And I don't know why, but I did in this one. I went through every toll very carefully. I came up on one of the tolls. It's for 9A. I don't know if you're familiar with Jersey. And I'm from New York. Like, hello, there's an exit right before the Lincoln Tunnel, and it's 9A. And so I was driving up, and it all says Easy Pass. None of it says cash, okay? So I drive in, and there was one that said, what is it, Easy Pass or and there was something else. I'm not sure if it's a cash or what have you. But I drove in, and I rolled down my window to pay the guy to see what I owed, and he's just waving me on. Now, I think that's the place I got the ticket. And so it really makes me mad because I stopped at every toll booth. I literally paid them. So it was a $3.50 toll, and it's $50 for the fine. I mean, okay, there we go. Yay, Fran, you're here. You know what? I want to go to Australia. I hear it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm glad all of you are here. Thank you so much. Reporting live from my sofa has a wonderful channel, you guys. He is a crack up. Definitely check him out. And so I just want to let you know. Then, somebody said this. Can I have a pet peeve moment? Okay, well, here's the thing. I try to really go through and read almost everything on the feeds. They come up, meaning, after the fact, I go into your comments, right? And a lot of people, I'll just hide them if they're negative, if they're criticizing somebody else. So sometimes you'll have said something or been defensive to somebody, and I've already gotten with them because I'm like, no, don't be mean. Anyway, this one person put on the feed. She said, can't I get a heart? Can't you pay attention to me? And I'm like, here's the thing. if I don't acknowledge the comment, it's because I don't have anything to say. That doesn't mean that you're unwelcome. It just means that I acknowledge the comments if I feel that I have something to say, meaning I'll put a heart, yeah, thanks for doing that. Sometimes I'll just do a thumbs up. But the truth is, guys, I usually comment, or at least try to, on all of them. But if somebody says something that's completely irrelevant, I just don't comment. And it's not because I'm trying to be mean. It's just that it's not relevant to what's going on. And therefore, I don't do it. So it was really funny because it put me in a hard place, because this person said, could you please at least acknowledge, or, something with my, and I thought, no, you know what, guys, we don't live in a world where everybody gets a trophy. I want you to know that when I put a heart on your comment after, a video or what have you, it's because I see you and I appreciate your comment. If you're making a comment that is not, like, it feels to me uncomfortable, why would I want to, it's kind of funny, isn't it, that we try to relate to people, and yet that's the person, by the way, just so you know, the person who I didn't comment on, and I don't know who they are, but in life, that's the person who'll walk around and go, nobody pays any attention to me. And it's because you are trying to force people to behave in the way you want them to behave. And you know what? Nobody likes that game. Thank you, Sarah. Everybody doesn't get a trophy. And it's like, you know what? Take what you like, leave the rest. Whether you like a political person, I don't really need to hear you rant about it. If you have something that's intelligent to say, I totally want to hear it, because I have friends that I have completely opposing views with. We get on the phone and we'll talk about things, and I'll go, oh, that's really interesting. I never thought about it that way. And they'll say the same with me. But I don't want to fight with you on Facebook. I don't want to fight with you on YouTube. I don't actually want to fight with you at all. Because I really feel that the point of this is to learn to be nice to each other. And I think that it's really interesting, because I had so many powerful meetings when I was in New York. And the biggest was, I was sitting in a room of skeptics, okay? I was at a big major magazine, and I'm trying to, show them what I do. And they brought everybody in, right? So on one side of the room, I've got these skeptics. And the other side of the room are people who are really eager. They love what I do. Hey there, Tim. They love what I do, what's going on. And all of a sudden, it's like, somebody had said to me, I'm so itchy. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Somebody had said to me after the fact, they said, oh, that must be very nerve-wracking when you have people that don't believe what you do. And I go, not really. They're like, what do you mean? I go, so what? It's not gonna affect how much sleep I get. It's not gonna affect my health, It's not gonna really affect my life if they don't agree with me. But here's what happened. I sat there, and all I did was my work. I didn't worry about what they were thinking. All I had to do was I pulled out my deck. I don't even know where the cards are because I was playing with them earlier. I pulled out my deck, and I do an exercise where I have everybody envision a door. And there's one of 7 doors. The number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I tell them that's the rainbow colors. The red door is 1, and it go around. So I had them pick that, and then I had them write a word down. And then I went around, and I basically told them in general what that meant. And then I pulled a card. I had each person pull a card. And I said, oh, okay, so you're renovating your house, and this is what's going on. And the biggest skeptic in the room was like, couldn't even believe, And the thing is that to me, everybody, that's more like a parlor trick to convince them of what I do. And I don't feel the need to do that in general, because, it was very interesting. I had a woman on YouTube here. It was such a lovely thing to say. She said she's a LDS, Latter-day Saint, Christian, and she felt like a little bit guilty or strange about readings. And she said she went to a reader once a year in Sedona. And she said that after watching this channel, she felt like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. And here's the thing that I said, and I did a radio interview yesterday, and I said to the guy on the radio, I said, because they were like, oh, do you think cards are evil? Do you think? And I said, let me tell you something. Cards are like guns. They in and of themselves, like the Bible, they're not evil. It's the person who uses it that can become evil. So if you really think about it, everything we're doing in true crime, right, is like, what are you kidding me? It's like the people are using common tools and they're evil. They've lost their mind. They're not right in the head. And somebody else said, she thought, they were cursing Cindy Watts. And here's the thing, that was the same person that asked me to give her a thumbs up. And here's the thing. I don't hate Cindy Watts. I don't hate any of these people. I'm fascinated by what they do because I want us to be able to change who we are in the future, in the present for our future. I'm really not that interested in, trying to bitch somebody. I want to kind of figure out, hey, what? Because people will use that term. Oh, you're blaming someone. I'm like, really? How? I don't. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Wouldn't you? So I want to just see what you guys are going. I wouldn't be able to walk in that room, AJ Baby. You know what? I'm going to tell you something because AJ Baby just said, yeah, it can be tiring and exhausting. I'm persnickety. What I want to say to you is that it's from years of training. It's from years of understanding that that I'm there to support people. I'm not there to prove anything to them. And I think when I finally learned that my intention was to be supportive, then I'm not attached to whether or not they like me or believe me. So I think what happens is when I'm not in that place, when I'm really just sitting there with, Mr. Skeptic, and I'm going, okay, so tell me about that. What does that mean? It's a whole different thing. That person is kind of like, they're just talking to me. And, one person was, this was at one of the meetings, they were trying to trip me up with something. And I said, the thing is that I don't really have to prove what I do because it's not about me, it's about you. So if you want to take this time and have me work with you on the issue around trying to prove people wrong, because how we relate to the issue is the issue. So that really tells me that you probably write really sarcastic stuff and you're probably really good at it. And the guy was like, he looked like this and everybody in the room went, oh my God, you got him. I was like, but that tells me who you are based on how you're relating to me. I don't need cards to do that. When we get really solid in our own knowing, I don't have to defend it to you. I don't have to. And the reason is, if I don't have to defend it, then I can be open to what you're saying. The thing for me is, because I'm sensitive to things, I don't want to hear the crap people say. Like, you're a hag, you're the, bye, get out of here. Because the thing is that it's just a waste of energy. And honestly, I now have 2 books due. I have to go back to New York in August, High Class Problems. And there's a lot of things going on that I'm super excited about, including, where's my, Australia people? I'm going to Australia. I don't know how or when, but yeah, I think, and Kyan said it, you don't need to prove yourself because, Stacy, you got me. You don't need to prove yourself because you're confident and secure in your own truth. I think it kind of comes down to recognizing also, and I'm glad you said that, it's also for me, I really recognize that it's not my issue. It's not my issue. Like, if somebody's like, really trying to fight me, and I had this happen with a client years ago, and I remember I was a little bit nervous, and finally I just said, I can't fight your energy because I'm here to help you and or be of service, and I feel like I can't work with this. And that was a turning point for me. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know that it's a confidence in myself. I think it's a confidence in the understanding that I can give myself the time to find myself again when I do get lost. And I think that's the difference is we get very frustrated with ourselves. We don't recognize that it's like the internet. It's going to go down and we're going to just sit there and wait for it to come back up. And it's the same kind of thing with your intuition. You know, I was talking about that at one of my meetings in New York, and I said, that's what your intuition is like. You know, there are times it disconnects, and our intuition or our feelings disconnect, and we don't know what to say. We fill in with brain. Our brain starts going, oh, well, if we don't have like that inner wisdom going, like for instance, somebody has a problem, and I go, well, I'm sure you'll find your solution. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what I should say. I might start saying stupid crap that won't help. And you know what I mean? It's the, oh, you know, he was never any good for you anyway. Like, what, how's that helping the person? You know, it's kind of like when you give advice and it feels invasive. You know what I'm trying to say. I know some of you get that. You know, when you're sitting there with a best friend, you go, wow, I'm really tired. And immediately they jump into, well, you shouldn't have stayed up and you shouldn't do this. I'm like, what are you, my mother? You know, like, and they all of a sudden have all these solutions to a problem I don't have. So what I've come to learn is that I don't have to be confident if I don't have somebody else's answers. And I know that. If I know that you're the smartest one about you, everything's cake. Because that's what makes it different is that, you see, the truth is, I trust that Fran has her own answers, you know. Mark likes to lick the truck window. Well, Mark, okay. You said hi 3 times, so I get that. It is confidence, kind. I get that. But there's also, it comes through time of, you know, I think over time, we really kind of start to understand that if I don't have the answer, I can just play. So it's beyond a confidence. It's like I'm unattached. I don't have to be attached to your problem, and I can still be empathic without advice. I can really kind of get, I know you're going through a hard time and I'm here for you. As opposed to, oh my God, what can I do? You know, because the minute I emotionally invest, I become part of the problem. I'm no longer standing back in the solution that you already have. See, the more I create a space between where I am and you are, and I kind of recognize that you're in pain, I can say to the person I'm working with, you know, I get that you're in pain, and I get that you're having a really hard time, and I need to know from you if there's something you need me to do. And you know what happens? 90% of the time, the person will say, I just need somebody to listen. How often do people listen without opening their big trap and telling you 100 things, you know? I mean, really, sometimes I'll say to my friends, because they know me, I go, shut your pie hole. I need you to listen. And they're like, okay. Right? It's true, red like wine. I just want to, Akiko, welcome from Japan. I just want to say that. Welcome to all of the, you know, the folks who are here for the first time. And yes, Fran, it is active listening. It's actively listening. And let me just say, because I love that you said that, active listening is also stepping in and saying, I get you, and saying nothing. And sometimes you can just, you know, let's see, Bridget Bach. Great name. Thank you for the super chat. Says, Tori, love your insights. This is by far my favorite channel on YouTube. Tori time is one of the highlights of my day. Yay, we got Tori time going. Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate that. And let's see, Alyssa says, hi, my cats and I love watching and listening to your videos. Thank you so much for your kind nature, insightful thoughts. Love from Delaware. Oh, I love Delaware. It's one of the few states that doesn't have personal income tax or corporate income tax. I think also Nevada. But anyway, so it's funny, Alyssa, you said that about your cats, because I was talking to my assistant today and she's in another city. And so we do Skypes and she's amazing. And anyway, her cat walks in, sits right there and starts looking at me. I'm looking at the cat. He's looking at me. I'm looking at the cat. He's looking at me. I'm like, all right, buddy, you just have at it. And she's like, so let me tell you, just like talking around her cat. So let me take a look. Let's see. Yeah, yay, reporting live from my sofa. I haven't seen Letty. I haven't seen her today. I think she's off. She's off on a Letty business. Let's see. I know. Oh, I hope you're the only one buffering. I'm sorry, Angelina. Anybody else buffering? Oh, because I just was on with like the internet people for like, ever. Oh, good. Okay. So a couple of things that I just wanted to bring to your attention is I am doing a tour in London. I'm going to be at the College of Psychic Studies, which is like, when I tell you it's a kick-ass place, it's amazing. You walk in there, and I'm not kidding, you can feel the vibe. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be doing, when I get back in June, first week of June, I'm going to also be doing, I think, an online how to read the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, just some tarot basics and kind of taking people through how that is really, because really what I teach are the tools. I'm really not teaching necessarily what the card means. I'm really teaching the tools to work with your intuition. And I love cards because they were a way of storytelling when I wasn't allowed to tell stories. Because in my family, my mother wrote all my papers when I was growing up. She told me I had no command of the language. So she had to write for me. And it's funny, I look back now and I'm like, wow, if it hadn't been for her, I never would have thought I had no command of the language and worked 20 times harder and found my love of literature. And the other thing that was really interesting, everybody, is I think some of you know the story about the Chakra Wisdom cards. I had a near-death experience, and afterwards I had all these angels coming, and it was like over 40 of them, and they told me these stories in color, like the color energy, and they wouldn't go away until I wrote them down. So long story short, years later, the deck is published, everything's going great. Gavin, what are you doing? Come over here, come here. I don't want him eating something he's eating. Come here. And years later, come say hi to everybody, mister. Oh, careful with your head there. Careful, buddy. So years later, after the card deck was published, I realized that my wounding of my mom writing my papers for me, say hi, buddy. Okay, yeah, he's a little sad today. My mom writing my papers for me actually taught me, she would dictate. It taught me to take dictation. Hi, boo. Hi, you guys say hi? Okay. It taught me to take dictation. And so when the angels came forward and they started telling me these stories, I was uniquely qualified to write down these stories because I knew how to write down what I was hearing. And ultimately, that's what made me a good storyteller and really worked on myself and my writing. And in the 80s, when adult children of alcoholics became a big deal, I went on to, I started going to, we call it New York, it was ACOA, Adult Children of Alcoholics. And I loved it. It was the first place I ever felt heard. It was the first place I ever felt people got. Yeah, Gavin's feeling punk, Sarah. He's kind of like next to me, just, he's not looking up. Anyway, he's my baby. He's a good boy. He's like, I can always tell that when he's not feeling well, when at night he jumps up onto the bed and he sits on my head. What are you doing? He's just sitting on my head like, I know, it was quite a night, huh? And so I love Live from My Sofa. We have to do something together. You're hysterical. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, put his channel up. I appreciate that. So Fran, yeah, just listen and we'll, aw, hi, sweet, but look at him getting nose massages. I know, not the massage. This is like puppy massage. I know. You're so good. Little paw in the air. I was watching a video last night of some whippet owner. The dog was in the bed and literally she pulled the bed all the way into the bedroom because the dog was so lazy. Yeah, my little lazy whippet, right, buddy? So a couple things I just wanted to also talk about is my friends Monty and Amy are going to be going live tomorrow night, and they're going to be on their YouTube channel. So definitely check them out. It's Monty Farber, Montefarber, and Amy Zerner. We did a live from New York. We did a live last week when I was there. So that was really great. And I haven't seen Duty Ron, got to get up with him. There's just a lot of stuff going on. And by the way, if you would, everybody, if you're on here, just hit the thumbs up button. It does help in the rankings. And it's been really, hi, Sweet Pea. It's been really, really just busy for me. And that's why I've been in and out. But two things I want to let you know. I did do a video on twin flame and soulmate, the differences, and that and somebody asked me if what Chris Watts and Shanann Rushek were, and so I talked about whether or not they were soulmates or twin flames. I'm going to be putting that video up. I also have the video that Lara did with me on the Cindy Watts face reading, but that's been on my Patreon page. That's been just exclusively for my Patreon folks. But I'm going to start putting it there first, giving it like a week, and then bringing it over. So that's kind of my thinking. I also want to start doing, and you guys tell me if you'd be interested. Oh, good. He was on this morning, Frankenthaler. Good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the criminal world, but there's a few things that I really would like to cover. And one of the things is there's some historical, one of my favorite stories actually is the craziness of Senator Joe McCarthy. And I don't know if you all know who he is, but he created a communist scare in the 1950s. And it destroyed careers in Hollywood. It was quite a story. But my favorite part is the one person who stood up to him was Roger R. Murrow. Murrow was a newsman who called him for the crap he did. And it's quite a story. So I just want to share that with all of you, that's going to be part of, I want to do a series on him, and I still have a couple things I want to say on the Menendez case. And I really feel that there is something about, when we're looking at what's going on, that times have changed. So I think we need to consider, more criminal reform. And that's just my, let's see. Yeah, right. I'm no commie. Colt. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Listen. Yeah, Angelina, it's on the Patreon page. Just go over there. You can watch that video. Yeah, hey, I'm no commie. You're so funny. I think what I want to say is that the idea of people being ostracized for their beliefs in the 1950s. And by the way, they were accused and never found guilty. I mean, there were a few that were it was the Un-American Committee. And so it was very, very interesting how that played out. So I just want to say that for me is, I really like stories in them where I look at a crime. And this is a crime, I feel, against society that actually a news reporter set straight. So I'm going to be telling that story. That's going to be coming up. I'm fascinated by some historical crime. And so I'm going to be looking at that. And I'm also going to be pulling up some newer cases as well. And just so you all know, for me, it's also about if I can offer you any insight into a particular crime, I want to do it. I feel that for me with the Chris Watts stuff, unless it's something specific, like the twin flame soulmates conversation, okay, but I don't want to keep going into those theories about what could have happened, because I want to see how things play out, going forward. And apparently people are like, there's these rumors running around about he's got an appeal. But if I remember correctly, and Scott Reich said this on his channel, somebody brought this to my attention, that Chris did sign a waiver for his right to appeal if he pleaded guilty and didn't get the death penalty. So I'm not sure if that can be fought. So we'll see how that plays out. Manson, yes, yes, yes. Exactly, Colt. A lot of good actors got caught up in that. Yeah, he's talking about Red Dawn, but I'm saying a lot of good actors, actually, you're bringing this up about, it brings me up to the other thing. In the Red Scare is what they called it. It was a real scare for where people were unfairly accused. It was a witch hunt. And I think that, when we look at this and what's been happening in our world for the last 2 years or whatever, we really need to look at, it's not so much that that somebody accuses it. It's like, this is the point. Can something be proved in court? You can't just walk up to a stranger and go, that person did this. It's like, that doesn't, thank God our system doesn't work like that. And I also want to look at when we look at crimes in terms of generational crimes, like Manson is one of them. And I want to go deeper into Manson because his childhood is absolutely fascinating to me. And I think that'll be really interesting to look at. So I have a couple things that I'm going to be doing. I also will be in LA for VidCon. That's the YouTube VideoCon that is in Anaheim. It's in Anaheim in July. And then I'll be back in New York in August. Oh my gosh, I hate life when I'm in New York in August. It's like, but I'll survive. And then what else? There's a bunch of travel coming up. I'm actually thinking in October, I may go up to Scotland. I would love to go up to Scotland. I have to go to Germany. I know it's kind of like have to go to Germany. And there's a lot of stuff like that going on. So it's really fun. Oh, did you just connect? Hi, Elisa. I'm just going to say hi to a couple people. I'm getting tired of the Chris Watts for sure. Yeah, I think what's happening, Angelina, is, and don't get me wrong, I benefited. Okay, I really did. I think what's happened is that people started realizing they could get lots of hits on Chris Watts. People were just rabid for it. And so now you've got like son of Chris Watts. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let me tell you about the time he bought a newspaper. And it's like, guys, like it's too much. I think it's kind of like, oh, bye AJ baby, you go have fun. Have some dessert for us. Arthur Miller. Yes, he was. Thank you for bringing that up. Arthur Miller was a part of that too. He married Marilyn Monroe. Let's see, Scotland and Germany. I know it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. I joke with people that I want to go to Switzerland because Americans, I'm sorry, nobody knows the difference between Switzerland and Sweden. And so I just go, okay, I'm going to Switzerland, so I just do that. But yeah, eat a good dessert, AJ. Take a picture of it. We want to see it. Let's see, this Red Like Wine. Chris Watts is so haunting. What he did to his family is devastating. It stuck with me. Yes, it is. And what happens with crimes like this is we start to get distance from it, and we start to see that I think that Chris, and this is just my own, intuition with it, I have a feeling he is, forgive me for putting it this way, he's a failed family annihilator. I think he was going to annihilate his family and then take his own life, but he just was too crazy and selfish. He failed. I know, Angelina, it just gets so busy. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I know, I think you've mentioned this. I feel like so many people failed her, docs, etc. This week's Chris Watts news opens it up again. I know, right? Exactly. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I didn't do it, but I love your thoughts on Gypsy. Oh, Gypsy Rose. Okay. So I am going to share with you just a tad about this, but I need to do more research on it. But here's the thing about crime that's so bizarre. And remember I told you I have a friend who's the angriest woman in America? She's a paralegal. And she used to say to me all the time, if you're innocent, you're going to jail. If you're guilty, you'll probably go free. And so in a funny way, I think that there's this idea that if someone's murdered or dies, the person has to pay. When the truth is that I believe that Gypsy Rose was behaving in self-defense. It was like, I have to kill this woman. She's going to kill me. And I think that, when you build up that much anxiety in someone, I think it just, what did Dr. Phil say? Tell me what, Kyan, what was your take on it? Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Oh boy. Love it. North Korea just launched a short-term ballistic missile. Well, they're back at it. So, and this is something I want to say to all of you, that how could we have ever escaped? How could she ever? She couldn't escape. See, this is the thing that we forget, is that when a child, all right, and I'm going to say, I know some people go, well, 19 or 21, he was a full-fledged adult. Not everybody is, okay? I know 30-year-old men who can't even put their pants on without mommy telling them how to do it. So, don't tell me somebody's full grown, especially when everybody wants a trophy these days. Nobody wants to work for it, right? So when we look at somebody like hi, baby. When we look at somebody, I know, the Menendez brothers, or we look at Gypsy Rose, I think at the end of the day, we're looking at people that have been brainwashed and abused and are terrified all the time. And, if you live in a prison, you think like a prisoner. It's just, and ironically, there are people in prison who are more free. I mean, I look at the Menendez brothers; they're more free now than they were in that house. So was the murder of their parents the right thing to do? And it's very interesting that the headline said that they were found guilty of killing their parents, not murder. It's very interesting, the wording. Hi, babe. You okay? You want to say hi to everybody? No, you don't feel good. Okay, he's still not. He's not himself right now because he's not playing with toys. When they don't play with toys, right, baby? You can. Okay, you can lie on my stomach. Okay, go ahead. Let's see. I want to just see. I know, but babe, I can't. Hold on a second. I know he's a whippy. I know. Let's see. I lived in Switzerland for 8 years. It's the most beautiful country. You must go. I want to go. I do want to go. Oh, Santera, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. I really appreciate that. Yay. Gavin's getting there. Yeah, well, North Korea, yeah, don't even get me started on that one. Hi. Gosh, I'm seeing, hey, Cruz Boston, good to see you. I didn't know when you plucked in. But I just want to see, Stevie, have you heard of the sicko that started as a self-help thing and somehow turned into a crazy sex trauma cult? Are you kidding? They all do, okay? This is the thing. And this is what I want to say to you. When I started, and I'm so glad you said that, Stevie33, let me tell you something. They all start that way. They all start and they all get twisted with religion or the devil. They all get twisted with these ideas of something's possessing me and I've got to lead you. And I don't know what to say about it, because it's the old thing. If somebody's confident enough, okay, well, maybe they know something I don't know. And guess what? They don't. This is the thing I was sharing at a meeting. When I say a meeting, I'm talking about the meetings I had in New York about, just about that have you noticed that for today, I'm just trying to grab this thing. This is a piece of paper. This is a card. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't kill people. It doesn't summon the devil. It doesn't, any more than scripture, which can be kind of creepy sometimes too, does. It's all in the people. It's all in what's going on in your mind and the meaning they make of things. And so I'm telling you, there's got to be another one out there. Meaning, and I'm glad you said that, Stevie, there's always somebody that's holding the Bible up and they go, I know the way. And it's scares me. It scares me because it's 90% of the time they're not following the dictates. Okay, I know, they're so sick. Yes, and some Hollywood stars are in on it. Oh, do you mean the one? I know exactly what you mean. You mean that girl from, I forget that TV show she's on. Hey, why do you think all the cults start in Hollywood, you guys? I mean, I'm telling you, I had to get out of there. I love Ada Weiss. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't even know half of what these women went through, and that was disguised as a good thing. See, they're willing to follow stuff. That's why a lot of times when I'm teaching and I teach intuition, I'll teach card reading, I have my stuff. I'll say to people, I'll be talking, all of a sudden I'll go, are you following me? And people go, and I go, are you trying to understand and follow me? And they're like, maybe, and I'm like, don't follow me. Follow what's in here. You trust yourself because you have your own answers. And I think that's the key to this. When I was watching somebody the other day, another Chris Watts theory, and I thought, you know what? Every time I think of it, I miss Shanann. I miss her, and it's so funny. That's the person I miss. Okay, Bev. I love your name, Edelweiss. Yes, it's recent. I know exactly what you mean, Stevie. It's a girl who's on the show, and they got people to go into the cult. What's up with conspiracy theory? People follow blindly. I think it's here's what I want to say about conspiracy theories, and this is super important about it. If you notice with conspiracy theories, the people who use them and put them out, and they can be entertaining, by the way. There's one channel that I enjoy watching, and I go, wow, that's crazy. But the thing is that I know what it is. I'm not sitting there going, ooh, I hope they have my answer. It's more like going, where'd you come from that? And somebody, okay, what I'm trying to say about conspiracy theories is that it prevents you from literally feeling the truth of a circumstance. So it's easier to kind of speculate about what Chris Watts did or how the crimes happened than really experience the true loss of what it's like to lose those people that we never met. And you can only imagine what it's like for the family of Shanann and the children. Heather Gibson, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lori. Good to see you. Just kind of want to say hi to people. Jonestown. Now that's something that, okay, started as kind of like we're all in this cult together. Nobody understands us. And by the way, where have you heard this before? Nobody understands us. We have to go. This is the idea of belonging is one of the most seductive things ever. People join into a family. We can look at, we're looking at a crime family, or we're looking at a gang, or people join communities because they feel protected. And when they join a church community, they feel protected. And so I think that, anything can be evil. And I think Jonestown really was. And I can look at the idea if you can't, somebody just messaged me, but I can't see what it says. So, okay. All right. Sure. I don't know what's going on. Somebody messaged me, but anyway, what am I talking about? Cult mentality is fascinating. Let's see, like cliques in school or gang. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is when you're in a clique, you belong. It can be very, see, I'm trying to put it the right way, you guys. Give me a moment. I'm thinking about, I don't really, in my heart of hearts, I really don't trust anybody who starts pontificating something in a way to put another person down or pull them into place. And I was sharing today with a friend of mine. I went to coffee with a friend, and I said to her, you know what? I said, I remember when I was little, I don't know about you guys, but I was sent to church, okay? My mother was Roman Catholic and my dad was Jewish. So you just figure that one out. So they shipped me off with the neighbors to Episcopal church, and I remember sitting there and going, what am I doing here? I remember feeling like I was a kid, 6, 7, 8 years old. I'm going, I don't want to think I'm evil. They were saying to me, I'm evil and I have problems and this is why I need to be here. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be here because I'm evil. That's not healthy thinking. And even at 7, I kind of went, I get the idea. And I do believe this, Jesus died for our sins. I get that. But really, do you want to walk through the rest of your life feeling like you're a bad person? I just couldn't buy it. And so it was really funny. Okay, when I was little, some people from our church started living together, and then they gave us a bunch of furniture and stuff in their car and moved away. I should probably ask Mom who they were. See? Mm-hmm. You know what? Angelina just said it. There's a problem if people go to extremes. I mean, that's, yeah, exactly. Roman Catholic and Jewish, very forbidden, especially in my parents married in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, it was like, whoa. Aw. Hey, Alyssa, good to see you in person. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And it does help. It's been a rough month, and that's why I haven't been able to be on YouTube as much, because it's like, because it goes back to Chris Watts, because I haven't been doing the high ranking videos. I haven't been making the money because people click off, what do you call it? Click off the commercials. And that's what makes the YouTubers money, really, or the ranking. So thank you very much, Alyssa. What was, oh, that's it. When you feel lost, they find you and you feel like you found a family. They make you feel loved and needed. So true. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you guys. Okay. So when I lived in Santa Monica, I had all my neighbors were, in their words, church people, God-fearing people, totally fine. I'm like, I went to church, And what I discovered was that for me, my mother used to always say to me, ever since I was little, she used to say, listen, just remember the temple is in you. It's in you. It's not, you don't go to a place to get God. You are either living the feeling, the energy, you're being kind to people, or you are not. And you don't need to go to a community to be that. And so it always gave me freedom of thought. And I also think that when we look at these communities, if people disagree, they get killed. This is what happens. This is the way that stuff happens. Anyway, by the way, for those of you on the call right now, if you would give it a thumbs up, if you like the video, do that. It does help in the YouTube rankings a little bit. Let's see. Oh, my neighbor. I know, Angelina, it was a gift. Okay. So it's very interesting when you look at, in a funny way, the Roman Catholic and Jewish on either side can be closer, if they're in the extremes, than the middle people. But anyway, so I was living in Santa Monica, and all my neighbors were Catholic, Christian, just a mix. And I was in a small building. All right. Now, I was in my 30s and everybody was in their 50s and 60s. So you can imagine how popular I was, just because I had friends and parties. And I was on the road, and my whippet, Billy, was pretty sick. Everybody kind of knew he was sick. And the neighbors knew I was going to be away. And a friend of mine was staying at my house with Billy. And I wouldn't be able to, that particular day, I couldn't get to the phone all day. I don't remember where I was traveling or what. But anyway, so my friend has Billy with him, my dog, who's was actually dying, a whippet, and walks him out, comes back in and realizes, oh my God, I locked myself out. So he's locked out of the house. But we had like a walkway, and it was a gated thing. So he knew the code to get in, but he couldn't get in the house. So my neighbor, big Sunday school teacher, big, but she hated me. It was like, she was so mean to me. It was like, you can't do that. I was like, okay. I tried to be nice. Nothing worked. So my friend was standing there with Billy, and he said, oh, hi, to this woman. I'm staying at Tori's, and she knew he was. And he said, I got locked out, and she had all the keys. He said, I'm wondering if you can let me in. She said, I can't do that without Tori's permission. And he said, but I have her dog right here. It was obvious, She said, I can't do that. And he said, okay, well, I've been out here for like 45 minutes. Can I get some water? Would you mind giving me a glass of water? I am not kidding when I say this to you. She turned to the hose bib, water hose, and said, there's water right there. I am not kidding. She didn't even get him a cup of water. So finally somebody came home and let him in the because it started to rain. So he's standing under the overhang, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to kill this woman, you know. But this is the point I'm making. Ultimately, you know, I got a hold of her. She was ignoring her calls, and finally I privated, you know, and she picked up, and I said, go let him in. And I said, I don't even want to talk to you. She let him in. But you know, I remember saying to her, and like, don't even start with me, talk about like losing all my cool. I remember saying to her, you know something? And I kind of cornered her when one day we were on the walkway after, when I got home. I said, you know something? For someone who teaches Sunday school, you are one of the most mean people I've ever met. The way you treated my friend and my dog who's dying was just atrocious. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You do need to go to church. Like, some people need to sit there and be told they're bad. I don't know why. You know, that was my thinking. But anyway, that was my little rant. Okay, the Falsacino case, I don't know. Yeah, really, I know, I was very judgmental. I was judgmental too, okay? But anyway, so what I want to say to you guys is I know, I was raised as a Baptist and was shocked when I learned there would be souls in heaven that weren't raised the same way. Oh yeah, it's crowded up there. It's crowded. Yeah, Nancy, I think that, it was totally her. And Red Like Wine said that. You know, the thing is, I have to say I've been very lucky. Most of the subscribers here are really wonderful people, and you know, really, really kind. And I think that when I say something like that to you, you know, I just feel like if you're going to preach to me that I need to be going to church, or I need to be doing or reading or praying to someone you pray to, right? And I don't really, you know, I honor everything. Please live in the highest energy of that. Because I'm going to tell you, my friends who are Catholic and born again, I don't hear that stuff from them. They don't go, you need to go. You know, they don't say that. They're nice people, you know, and I think that's the difference. So it goes back to the original circle, everybody, of like, you know, hurt people, you know, and that's the way it goes, you know, and that's why I say a lot, say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. And I remember when I said that to her, I said, you should be ashamed of yourself. At your age, you know, teaching children Sunday school, you are not an example of the church, and I would be ashamed to be a parishioner with you. And I meant it. And you know what? I was talking to my friend about this today, and I said, I don't really care whether she got that or not, because it was for me that I said that. I had to clean that up. See, somebody said to me about the Cindy Watts video I did a couple months ago. They go, well, she's not going to listen to any of that. I'm like, what does it matter whether Cindy Watts gets it or not? See, here's the thing. That was for us, not for her. She's never going to get it. And the thing is, she might be the nicest person on Sunday. She might be a great friend. But that doesn't mean that they're living with the morals that they want you to live with. And I think that's what gets me, is that, you know, please stop trying to push your beliefs on me. Please, you know, stop trying to tell me how I'm supposed to be and that something is evil, when the truth is the only evil I see is in people. You know, the intentions that people have. And remember, it's all fear-based. You know, somebody said to me, it was some convoluted post about how love is the answer or something. And I was like, okay, well, we know that, you know, duh. And then I realized it goes back to fear. It goes back to the two fears we live with. You know, fear of not getting what we want and fear of losing what we have. And I think sometimes because we're so afraid of not getting what we want, we try to prevent somebody else from getting it. And I think if I just keep my eyes on my own lane and I just do my own thing, it's just, the whole ride is better. Don't you think? Look at this. Okay. Yeah, I think somebody got, oh, Cruise Boston, you were on it. Thank you, Edelweiss. I have my own religion. It doesn't fit in any other box. Good for you. She's got it going on. It's the 6 days prior to Sunday that I worry about. That's freaking brilliant. By the way, thanks for putting Monty Farmer and Amy Zerner up. I'm definitely going to be on their chat tomorrow night. I promised that I would mod for them, so I'll do that. I also have a live radio tomorrow night. I forget who I'm on. Let me, as I'm talking to you, I'll look it up. Actually, it's on my website. It's torihartman.com/events. And I'm just going on there so I can like cut and paste and put it in the chat. Actually, my moderators are smarter than me. They probably would do that. But listen in as Tori talks about the new deck. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of stuff that you hear from me is just kind of practical spirituality. You know, I'm not, it's kind of like, am I on that tomorrow? Really? No, that was last night. Okay, here we go. Is it K-Talk? No, yes. Okay, I'm in K-Talk in Utah. So I'm going to give you this. Hopefully this will post. I don't know if it will. But if not, here we go. Okay. All right. I know. I love you guys. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so let's see if that will. Oh, I'm only allowed 200 words. Oh, that's terrible, Frankendoll. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's why this is a big thing about her. Okay, I'm just gonna, I can only do 200 words or something. Interviews with Linda. Okay, Utah, got it. I'm just gonna take off all of her stuff because I only get 200 characters. Okay. Okay, here we go. Just take all that off. There we go. I think I can publish it now. There we go. I can put it up. Okay, so this is tomorrow night. And if you go to my Gavin, you okay? He's a little uncomfortable. Come here, baby. Sit down. That's why. See, I told you he sits on my head. He like leans on me when he's not feeling what. He's looking for food. He's hungry. So I'm gonna go feed them in a minute. Thank you, Frankendoll. I think my name. Okay, hold on. Okay, baby. Thank you. You know, here's the thing. I know it's Gavin because he's the dark one. He's like, Gavin's all white. My doggy does that too. I know. You guys are so funny. What's so stupid? I missed. Oh, with the judging. Okay. So yeah. Okay, Angelina said Utah, I lived there and it was awful. I lived there and that was awful. Let me tell you something though. This is very interesting. I am finding that living in Asheville, I don't know that it's the best place for me to live. So I need to find out from Monty. He's got an astrocartographer. Look at this. Look at this. Look. He's got an astrocartographer that he uses. They tell you where the best place in the world to live is. I told you, I think my place is the middle of the Indian Ocean. Gav, you can't go over there, boo. No. Oh, there's no whippet that can't. Whippets don't understand can't, do they? Okay. So he was hoping for squirrel and yeah, he's just trying to. Yep. That is Utah a state? It's a state of mind. Let's see. I want to see Skinwalker Ranch. I wonder what that is. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of, jump on. I've got to eat. I just literally was 2 hours late because I was on with, I had a meeting in the Spectrum. Yes, Lucy in, is that Chaos? Kate? Lucy in Choatus. Gosh, you know what? I shouldn't read license plates either. Yeah. Let's see. And been watching your video on being kind. You know what I'm gonna tell you my personal favorite video is the one on when people die. Because for me, that was really powerful because one of the subscribers, one of the subscribers on this channel jumped on and she said she had lost her son. She was really destroyed about it, had very depressed. I know. Look, he's really not feeling well. But, that's... Gavin, don't put my phone number out there. It's like, put your name out there. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to call because I never answer it. I know. He doesn't look well, right? I know. He's such a cute... Gab, you okay, boo? Gabby, do you want... Oh, yeah, you're okay. Do you want some hungries? All right. Do you need some soup? Get you some soupies? All right. So I'm going to go cook for them because they're not feeling well. But I just wanted to kind of check in and say I will be Monty Farber, Amy Zerner tomorrow night. And I am going to put up tomorrow the Soulmate Twin Flame. I keep promising. Yeah, I know I got to cook for them. My baby, you okay? You want to say hi to everybody? No? Okay. But just so you know, all whippets look depressed. This is just a normal thing. Yeah, I just kind of decided to just do a little chat with you guys because, hi babe, because it was just a super long day and I have to put together a couple proposals and my chakra book that's coming out from St. Martin's in November. I have the manuscript and I've got to read the whole freaking thing. Yeah, grief is love without a place to go. That's the quote, Edelweiss. And if you really think about it, that's why people, if you've ever noticed, when people are, when they've just broken up with someone or when someone dies, how incredibly beautiful they look. And it's because there's a grace in their face. There's a loveliness where they're so vulnerable to that, that experience. It's, you know, and you go, I know you feel terrible, but you look great, you know, because it's like they look real. They're real. They can't stop crying. Oh, look at him, nice. He looks like he's laying on the pillow, but he's not. He's head hanging. So I think, you know, one of the things that, okay, buddy, yeah, go ahead. He's going to sit on me now. Okay. Okay, thanks, Gavin. Okay. All right. Yep, he's doing I'm going to sit on mommy now. Yeah, I felt it so deeply when my father died. Oh my gosh. Yeah, me too. I see you in Santa Fe. You know, I've loved Santa Fe, but I also felt it was very lonely for me. I'm sorry about your great aunt. 100. Oh my gosh. Okay, so seriously, Stacy, I was at you're going to love it. This is years ago, I was doing card readings at like a birthday party or something. It was for somebody who was turning 50. And I was sitting at a table and grandma came over and she sat there. She looks at me. I said, did you want a reading? She goes, honey, I'm 97. The only thing I want is to die soon. I'm like, okay. She said, I don't want to know my future. She said, I'm just ready to go. I said, okay, grandma. So there you go. Thank you. Yeah, me too, Whiplash. So I want to say to everybody, thank you so much. Oh, wait. I just want to say I find you a few days, begin the channel. I was so depressed. And after a few videos, I accept the fact that I'm an abused kid. Yes. And I feel much better. You know, something I want to say to everybody before we sign off, you're not alone. I think the thing is that the more brave we get about saying who we are and sharing the truth of ourselves and how painful it is to love people that can't love us back. And that's the sadness, by the way. You know, when we're abused as children, we love them. You know, we love our parents. We love those people and they can't love us back. And there's a deep sadness about that. And you're not alone if you feel that way. That is something that is a universal truth, that we love people that can't love us. It's kind of like expecting someone with no arms and legs to run a marathon. Now, these days they can do stuff, but I'm just saying you can't. And we do because we're loving creatures. You know, that's who we are. So thank you for that and welcome. And I'm really glad you're here. I've been a widow for 8 years. I have so hard and lonely years. I miss my hubby so much. I've not met a new man either. You know what I want to say, Janet, too, is that definitely go watch the video. It's on my channel, When a Loved One Dies, I think it's When a Loved One Dies. There's so much comfort in that. And at least for me, there is. Like when I was doing readings and you know, people would come through like that, it was really powerful. And I talked about one of the readings about when a dead, this woman's son died, and it was quite profound for me. And it was, anyway, I would encourage you to watch that. If you've been through losing someone you love, that's my favorite video, you know, and it's probably one of the lowest ranked videos. Most of my videos were demonetized anyway, because I guess somebody reported them or something, and, you know, that happens. And particularly my high-ranking ones because they were Chris Watts stuff. Yes, Twin Flame. That's going to be the one I do tomorrow. TED Talks on Grief. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Janet. I'm glad you're here. Much love, everyone. I am going to try to go feed this guy and go do my thing. But I just want to say special shout out before I go to Wild I Wish Woes, Black Rose 11. I think Cruise Boston, if you left. James Holt, good to see you. Cruise Boston, I'm really glad you're here, and I'm really grateful for my mods. So thank you so much. And I will maybe see all of you on Monty and Amy's feed tomorrow. So go join over on their channel and definitely subscribe, because that's how you find out I'm live, because I don't plan many of them because the trolls wake up. They wake up. They wake up. It gets like it's this international buzzer somewhere in troll hell where they go, let's go to her house. Okay. What do I say? Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. And remember, be kind to each other out there. You may be the only lifeline someone has between a choice to end their life and stay on. And just remember that kindness is really the key to everything. Much love, everyone. Have a blessed night. I'll see you later. Gavin, you want to eat something? Come on, Gav. You hungry?